Hey y'all, welcome back to another edition of the Black Dollar Coalition.
Oh yeah, BDC.
And as you guys can see today, we're going to start off with the budgeting and the foundation of finances, right?
Absolutely. This is a very important one. This is like foundational good stuff to get you guys started off on the right track.
Yes, I'm excited. So come on in, get you a snack, get you something to drink, grab you a notepad because we're about to
Yes.
get some things.
Yes. And it's all good stuff. It's stuff that's really practical information you can apply literally right now that is going to help you.
Yes, I am ready when you are.
All right. So let's talk about building a solid financial foundation. I really enjoy that it's becoming more and more popular for people to invest, whether it's in real estate or other kinds of investments as well. But it's recommended that everyone, before you begin investing or taking on any kind of financial risk, that you establish your financial foundation. This is also recommended prior to purchasing your first ever property as well. So it's just good information for everybody. So these are the steps I like to use. This is from the Financial Literacy Advocacy Group, which is a tremendous organization that has really great info. I use them as a source quite a bit. So let's get into the steps. Now, we have to start at the bottom. A lot of people like to just, us, we hear about something good, an investment that's out there, and we're like, oh, let's go in. We want to go in. But let's start at the bottom first, okay? This is what is recommended. Ready, E?
I am ready.
Awesome. So number one, the first thing a lot of people are surprised by this is to increase your cash flow. When I'm working with first-time buyers especially, they say, what's the first thing I should do? The first thing you should do is get a raise. That's the absolute first thing you should do.
Get your money up.
Get your money up. And here's the thing. We are the hardest working group in the country historically, right? Literally built this country, right? That's who we come from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're out here working hard every day, every week, 40 hours, 60 hours, 80 hours, 100 hours a week, right? And many of us don't get raises because we don't ask for them. And so it's really important. So in the career section down the line in the series, I'm going to talk about how to get a raise, how to properly ask for it, because there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything.
Absolutely.
But yes, absolutely. But chances are you're being underpaid at the job that you already have. So if you are employed, if you've, been there for a while, if you're doing a good job, a lot of people have jobs where like if they missed a day, the place can't even run, right? So you're an invaluable asset to that workplace. So chances are you're being underpaid because you haven't gotten a raise recently. That's the first thing you should do. And it's the easiest, fastest, most painless way to find more money overnight. So number one is to increase your cash flow and get a raise. Now, some people have entrepreneurial things that they do on the side. They might do some gig work. They might, do a craft or have a hobby, that can pay them. Increase your cash flow that way. Whatever you can do to increase your cash flow, that's the first step toward building your financial foundation. Any questions, E?
I understand that loud and clear. Get your
Right.
money up.
Get your money, which you deserve, right? Because you work hard for it. So you absolutely
I
deserve.
did think of something that you just said, which is very, very relevant because
Yeah.
I really don't feel like people grasp this.
Yeah.
But you brought up the fact that our demographic is the hardest working people. Not only that, but when it comes to budgeting and financing, we are the biggest spenders.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of, that's a habit that
Mhm.
forms where we get money and it goes right out, right? We
We
can
spend the
break,
money before we even get it. We be like, oh, I
right,
got money
right.
coming. I'm about to get this, and this.
Exactly right. That's a habit and that's a practice. Do you know the number one thing that will change that habit, E? is
Um,
when is when you actually start investing. When you become an investor, every dollar that meets your hand, you're thinking about how and where you can invest it. And
mm,
this is a shift in mindset that only people who have experienced it can kind of relate to. But it's
right.
a natural thing that happens when you begin to invest and see returns on your money. Money that comes to you because of assets you own, not because you had to go out and break your back or stand on your feet for 10 hours or anything like that. You want more of that naturally.
Hmm.
So I say, if you're trying to break, your not so great financial habits, stick to this financial foundation so that you can get to the invest part. That's the good part. And that is really going to help solidify these new, better habits that we're developing.
Right. And this chart that she got this from, the link will be in the description. I always want to say the description first. The description, because it is that important over
Yes.
here in the
Yes.
galaxy. You have to look at the descriptions because I put all the information there for you guys to have it at your fingertips any time of the day or night. So make sure that you check the description because everything that she shares with us will be in the description.
Absolutely. And listen, print it out. Put it on what you should put it on your refrigerator. You know what else people can do? Save it as your screensaver. So it's top of
Mhm.
mind. Like you're taking your money seriously. You're taking your wealth to the next level. So
I'm
increase
gonna
cash
add this
flow.
to my vision board.
Yes, put on your vision board. Like put it there. Put it up there. Because this is a good plan. So the next is to secure your insurances. Insurance is very important. Okay. So, health insurance for every person in the household, life insurance for every person in the household. Your insurances are very important. Now, for most of us, we've been talking about spending and stuff, right, E? But for
Mhm.
most people, what happens in their life, it's not even that they're being irresponsible with money by spending it. Something happens, right? Somebody gets sick, somebody
Mhm.
unfortunately passes away. And so that takes people who don't have a solid financial foundation off of their track. And it sets them back again. So now they have to gain that ground and continue to build again. So, securing your insurances, I want people to think of insurance as it's money insurance. That's what any kind of insurance is: insurance on your car, insurance on your health, your body, on your assets. It's protecting your money, right? We tend to associate it with the asset or the person or the health, but think of it as protection for the money you have now and the money that you're going to get in the future.
Mhm.
Secure your insurances. Do not skip this step, guys. Okay, are we ready to go up one more?
Yes, I'm ready. Are y'all ready?
Okay.
Are
Are
y'all
they? I think
taking
they're
notes?
ready. Yes. Yes, they're like, oh no, E puts everything in the description. We're good. We can always come back to it. They know how you run things over here. So the
Take them
next,
notes,
yeah,
man, because
take your
y'all know.
notes.
Yeah, you know one thing I learned.
Mhm.
You remember things more when you write them down.
Very true. And you dedicate them mentally, you dedicate yourself to them more if you write them down with your own hand.
Mhm.
Yep. That's science, you guys. That's science. All right, guys. So the next one is pay off debts. Now, don't get stressed out. Okay. Don't get stressed out. Okay. You don't have to pay off all your debt. Okay. There is a strategy to this. We're going to cover it in one of the budgeting sections. This doesn't mean that you have to pay every single debt down to the penny. All right. But we're going to strategically look at the debts. We're going to rank them and prioritize them based on things like interest rate, penalties, etc. And we're going to be smart about it. So I don't want you to stress out on the pay off debts part, because we're going to help you with that in the budgeting section. What I will say is know that this does not apply to your student loan debt. As a realtor, let me tell you that student loan debt is completely looked at differently than any other kind of debt, right? You do not have to have a zero balance on your student loans in order to purchase property. You
I
can
was getting ready to say, like, dang, because that's the only that I have.
Oh, you're golden. Then you're good. So let me
Yeah.
tell you this. And a lot of people don't know this, so they don't even try because they don't know. So let me tell you, you can have $30,000 in student loan debt. You can have $300,000. I know some physicians in student loan debt. I know a physician couple. They both practice medicine, and they each had $500,000 in student loan debt. And they bought a property, right? I know them because they're clients.
Sally Mae, count your days.
Yeah. But student loan debt does not prevent you from being approved to purchase property. I want everybody to know this. I thought this for years before I was, in the business, before I got this education myself and learned about it. I thought that if I had student loans, I couldn't purchase property. I thought I had to pay it off before I could do anything. And that's absolutely not true. Now, I'll tell you where it factors in. If you need to be actively paying on your student loans, and it doesn't have to be a lot. There are, the government has a program where your student loan payments can be calculated relative to your income. So if you have a lower or more moderate income, you can pay a smaller amount per month, right? That's easier for you to keep up with and to be current on. Because
they need to just wipe it out.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, shout out to Biden and Kamala and that whole administration, they've wiped a few things out. Now, my teachers, my police, my firefighters, there are programs where you can get some or all of it wiped out. So make sure you're looking into that.
What about us medical field people?
I know. I know. If your debt hasn't been wiped out, the number one thing you should do is to just keep current on it. If you can reduce your payment, check now to see if you can reduce your payment based on your income and start making smaller payments now while you can. If you are in default, this is time sensitive. Due to COVID or the vid, sorry to say it, on YouTube, due to what we had going on with the panorama, the government created a program called Fresh Start for people who have defaulted on their student loans. They will do several things for you. They will put you in good standing, right? So it will go from a negative account on your credit to a positive account on your credit, which is a very good thing. We're talking about credit in our next segment. It will.
We need to have a segment on this Fresh Start.
Yeah, I'll do a Fresh Start segment. Hey, all of the information I have is available for people on the TheeEnicole platform. Okay.
Yes.
So it changes its status on your credit, which will also help your credit. They will seize garnishments, and also when they that sometimes they recall your tax refund if you have, if you're in default and you have student loan payments due, so you can get your refunds again. They can stop the garnishments, and it will positively impact your credit. And it's because of the panorama, and it's time sensitive. It won't always be this way. So if you are in default, make sure you sign up for Fresh Start. So paying off debts. Okay, so we're not talking about our student loans. We're just going to get current on those, right? And your other debts, We're going to prioritize them. So I don't want you to get nervous. All right. Okay. That's paying off debts. Woo.
Oh, child.
Now let's go. I know. Woo, child. Now let's go to let's go to the next step because we're almost there, right? And all of these steps are not hard. They're not hard, and we're here to guide you through them. So the next one is your emergency fund. Very simple. A little pot of money, not an actual physical pot, but some separate account where you have set aside some money for emergency, right? Now, this does not replace your insurances, okay? The goal is to not touch this pot, this emergency fund, right? So secure your insurances, go to the debt step, and then do your emergency fund. Now, the people on television, all of the financial people and I'm not going to call any names. They'll say, yeah, you need a 6-month emergency fund. Okay. For most people, I think that is too steep, right? I say 2 months. That's all you need, right? So if your rent, car insurance, whatever you pay monthly comes to $2,000 a month, right? Have $4,000 in your emergency fund. And that's it. Okay. Then we can move on to the next step, which is the investment step. So having the emergency fund, paying off your debts, having your insurances secured, and increasing your cash flow, that is what solidifies your financial foundation. Now you can begin to invest. Now you can purchase your first property. You can own a spot. You can invest in other things like stocks, etc., whatever you choose. But the financial foundation piece, I think, is what's least talked about, especially in these social media spaces, but it's the most important thing.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about these, E?
I want to know why I didn't start this show sooner because, I feel like a lot of these things that we're going to be talking about, that we're not just talking about today, but in all of these episodes, is that it's mental, right? Because a lot of these things seem much harder than they actually are. And I think it's because it's money, even though we spend a lot, it's hard to part with money sometimes, like depending on what it is. So I think breaking it down into simple steps like this, if this works for me, I hope that it works for our viewers, because that's what Black Dollar Coalition is all about. It's just breaking it down to where they're in bite-sized pieces so we can understand, so that we can move ahead. So I'm loving it.
Excellent. And also, yes. And also, these steps are not you parting with your money, right? The first step is literally getting more money, right? The second step is you protecting your money. The third step, no, we'll talk about it. And the emergency fund, that's something you hold and retain for yourself, right? So it's not like I'm not spending your money here. I'm not being bad, bad, but this is how you can position yourself. This is how you can take what you have now and really put yourself on solid financial footing for the future. And that's what we're all about.
Now, I may be getting a little too ahead of myself. You tell me. We don't have to go deep into it. But this emergency fund that you say.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it possible to actually put that to the side untouched to where that money is growing money?
Absolutely. So you can do, great question, E. Come on, huh?
Yeah. Because I'm thinking dollars now.
Yes. Whenever you have money, right, it should be making money. And at the very least, it should be making you some interest. So if you put it into a savings account, your bank will give you a little bit of interest on there. Not too much, but it's something, right? But you also have high yield savings accounts. You also have money market accounts and these are places where if your money's going to sit for a little while, the financial institution rewards you for that by giving you a little bit more than what the going interest rate is. And so that is absolutely a fantastic point, which I thoroughly agree.
Yes.
Yes. Should be making some money. Yes, emergency fund. Do your thing, emergency fund.
Yeah. Emergency.
Yes, emerge.
I know I love them E-words.
Yeah, so this is your financial foundation, guys. And I mean, you can do this. This is very accessible. This is not hard. Again, the only one that you might not like is the payoff debts one, but we'll talk more about that in our future budgeting sections.
Yes, absolutely. Now we at the top.
Yes, now we get to investment. It's time to purchase, real assets. And that absolutely can be done. There's such a thing as, people talk about living mortgage free or house hacking. You may have heard some of these terms in the media, but all that means is just investing into a real asset, which is what we call property. Property is a real asset, and letting it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be great. It can be really great.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that point.
Yes.
And we will be inviting some investors on.
Yes, come on, investors.
Yeah,
absolutely. And investment in real estate could be several different things. Some people say, oh, I don't want to be a landlord. But personally, I've worked with buyers and sellers here in Chicago that have different uses for their properties. People are familiar with Verbo or Airbnb. You can use your property in that way. You can purchase a commercial property or a partial commercial property where you have business on the top, residential on the bottom, and live and run your business, out of your own building, or rent to a major business or company like Starbucks, etc. We have people who own parking spots. Not a parking lot, but a parking spot. A single parking spot can earn you up to $300 a month in the city of Chicago. And we have people that own 30 or more.
We don't talk about these.
Yeah. So when I say own a spot, and that's actually why I didn't make it own a house or own a home, right? Own a spot. Real assets, there are so many things that you can do and that you can get into as a property owner. And so, I look forward to presenting more of that.
Yes, I love it. I love information, period. But when information is beneficial, that is just like icing on the cake,
Yep.
So y'all see how quickly that we're gonna come in and share nuggets. I really hope that you guys enjoy. I hope that you guys soak it in. And I really hope that you guys come back.
Yes. And like the video.
Yes. Make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you are subscribed, and we're here to stay. We are here to stay. And also be tuned in so that you know when we're coming with our Q&A sessions, because we want to answer all the questions that you guys have.
Those are going to be fun. I can't wait to talk to people and see what their questions are.
Yes. So don't be shy. No question is a dumb question. I don't care who told you that it is, but no question is a dumb question besides the unanswered questions. So we will see y'all next time.
Black Dollar Coalition.
Boom.
that money.